Hello, everybody. Well, guys, here we go again. As we discussed in the Kylie Jenner video, where she was getting ridiculous backlash for a plane ride she wasn't even on, this same thing now is happening with Drake. So, for those that live in the greater Toronto area, aka the GTA, motorists there are familiar with Hamilton, and they're aware that it takes about an hour to drive to Toronto depending on traffic. Well, that beautiful Twitter page, Celeb Jets, decided that they were going to post this on Twitter, where people now are discussing that Drake skipped the drive to fly in his private jet instead for a 14-minute plane ride. Which, I get it. Naturally, it didn't take long before people started to notice this and started criticizing Drake for the ridiculous move. They started leaving comments believing that Drake did this. Now, I do have some of them to show you, and here's what a couple of them look like. So, as you can see here, this person was like, Drake, why are you flying for 14 minutes? Just take one of your sports cars. Okay. This person clapped back with, I'm from Canada. It's where the plane is parked. Calm down. And Daniel replied with, I find myself very calm, just following a bot that told me he flew for a solid 14 minutes. Which Tyler then provided his little reply, which says, they dropped him in Toronto, and the crew and the plane go back to the base, which is 15 minutes away. He himself isn't taking a 15-minute flight, which is very true. And this person then was like, what the actual F? Sam says the plane lands in Toronto and then goes to Hamilton, which is where it's kept. And then this person says a whole 767 for 14 minutes? Damn. And then you have this person with their meme saying 14-minute flight? Dude, seriously, why? Which someone explained maintenance and it's where the plane is stored. And another person just commented 14 minutes with an exclamation point. I get why people are upset, because especially with this Twitter page, people are going to think that maybe these celebrities are on the plane for 14 minutes. But the problem is they have a lot more issues. They don't really put the facts on there. So it was last summer, though, that Drake announced a collaboration with a climate group, Aspiration, and it was to offset his touring carbon footprint. Now, at the time, a spokesperson said the following for Drake, saying that an audit of the artist's schedule, events, and travel with Aspiration, it will calculate Drake's carbon footprint and use it for a reforestation program to offset the estimated climate impact. Now, the CEO and co-founder of Aspiration, who's also a board member, Joe Sandberg, said that Drake isn't just ahead of the curve, he defines the curve, and mentioned that he will be leading by example as he shows his fans how spending and saving with Aspiration can easily eliminate their carbon footprint as well. Now, if you haven't checked out the other video that I did on Kylie, you really should take a look at that video, which it will be at the end of this video, so you can check it out afterwards. But we discussed how, because of a photo of her suggesting which plane her and Travis Scott should take, that led to people starting to go crazy on her. And then Celeb Jet tweeted about her plane arriving in 3 minutes, which some people didn't realize it wasn't a 3-minute flight. It was really 15 minutes. But regardless, it was trending on Twitter for 3 days. She received so much hate, calling her a climate criminal, which I go over it and how me and Pope investigated these allegations. And finally, after a few days, a reliable, sensible source finally put out the truth. Now, a report from California Globe even backed up this theory, where they say airports in Burbank, Hawthorne, Van Nuys have received the brunt of jet traffic from private planes looking to avoid expensive fees at LAX and other larger airports. Celeb Jets has been reporting these short flights. And even though they, one, don't tell where a celebrity gets onto their flight, they also don't note to their audience that this is where the celebrity's hangar is either. They are causing, in my opinion, a lot of issues by just putting where the plane is going, how long the flight is. That's it. And of course, which celebrity's private plane it is. It's people like even Kim Kardashian, who they suggest takes quick flights, and those are accusations according to CelebJet, where they insinuate that she traveled from Camarillo to Van Nuys in Los Angeles, which is a 10-minute flight at that time, which, as we know from the investigation that me and Pope did, that is where the family's hangar is located, in Camarillo, and sources have confirmed this as well. There are other celebrities like Kenny Chesley, the country music singer, where they recorded that he was in the air for just 20 minutes between Akron, Ohio and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Even actor Mark Wahlberg, they suggested, took an 11-minute flight from Des Moines, Iowa to Newton, Iowa, which would be a drive that takes maybe about 35 minutes. I'm glad to see, finally, after all the backlash, that there are sources putting out the facts. One of the sources was this IG account called Real Toronto News, which even Drake addressed the allegations by replying with a comment on the Instagram post. Here it is. And as you can see, Drake says, this is just them moving planes to whatever airport they're being stored at for anyone who is interested in the logistics. Thank you. Because Kylie didn't speak out, and I'm glad that he spoke out because people need to see this. Now, they also posted a couple other photos regarding this whole situation. Here was one of them where it was a post saying Drake is part of the problem. He takes multiple 15-minute flights to Hamilton and back, but the environment is collapsing. Dude, take the GO train, for fuck's sake. That's just where his plane is stored. Then this one where it shows tons of CO2 emission. If you look, though, it's like 1%, 1%, 5, 1. When reality is they're even way, like 1% is nothing. Nothing. Which we did discuss in Kylie's video as well. And then here's another one that they posted, which was from 50 Shades of Way. If we had a functioning democracy, our politicians would impose a new super tax on private jet users, but instead the entire cost of a private jet can be used as a tax deduction, while teachers can only deduct $250 for school supplies on their taxes. Now, I will say, I do agree with that. It's not fair that only teachers can deduct $250 on their school supplies when they pretty much supply the whole classroom. You also have to think these celebrities are paying for the jet fuel, and the prices for jet fuel are up there in price. They're astronomical. I don't know if they can deduct that off their taxes. They probably can, but it's things like this that I do agree with, and I want to show you guys. And at least they put up the photos about the 14-minute and the 17-minute private jet plane ride from both Drake and Kylie. But that's not the issue that I agree with. I agree with the whole teachers not being able to only deduct $250 from the school supplies. And if you actually did some investigation, you would notice that it's not them taking the flights, it's where their hangars are stored that their plane needs to be put back at. And they're avoiding having high prices at these main airports where they can have it at an airport that is 10 minutes away, 14 minutes away, 17 minutes away, and they can store it right then and there for a lot cheaper. They're cutting corners too, though they don't need to. They're cutting corners. Here's another one that says Drake is getting dragged for flying 14 minutes on his private jet to Hamilton. And the last thing that was part of that IG post was this one, where it was Kylie Jenner's 17-minute private jet trip is a climate disaster. So, I was happy, though, at least to see, one, Drake addressing the issue, shutting it down, plus there were people that commented there and understood and finally made some sense to some of them that didn't realize this was something that happens. So here are a couple of the replies from that. This one says to Drake, but I don't understand why Drake's life is anyone's problems. A lot of y'all drive up the streets just to get McDonald's. That's his money, his jet. He can do whatever he wants. Some of y'all need to level up and get in your bag. Get in your bag. Stay in your bag. This person says to Drake, and you got no reason to hit Hamilton anyways. I don't know anything about Hamilton, but for those who live in Hamilton, let me know below. Is it like something that celebrities don't want to go to? And this person just calls Drake the king. Then we have these comments right here saying they're clueless. It's called a fairy flight. A laugh out loud happens all the time, and it's true. That's what they're called, fairy flights, where it's just the pilot and the crew that get dropped off at the hangar where the plane then gets stored. But usually the celebrities get off in an airport that is either closer to their home or at a bigger airport where they do security checks and all of that too. This one says, Drake, they stay on your nuts. This one says, talk your shit, OG. And this person says, dumb AF, they're getting the blame. Dumb AF that you're getting the blame then. Which I agree, it is dumb AF that he's getting the blame. And even Kylie. This person says, you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. However, it takes a classy gentleman to address it. By the way, I pretend you're my best friend. Okay, that's a little crazy. And then they replied again saying, also, no one flies to Hamilton. And I've seen a lot of that. That's why I want to know, what's so bad in Hamilton? This person says, dude, you're the man, Drake. The next one says, good thing to know. Thanks for clearing up the story. And I'm glad that he did, because there has been a lot of misinformation regarding this. And lastly, it says, anyone with common sense would know this. Unfortunately, not everyone uses their common sense nowadays. And as we discussed in the other video about Kylie, since people are so concerned and criticizing celebrities for flights that they aren't even on, but thinking that they're on, I discussed how are these same people thinking, let me take my personal car, let me not take my personal car today and instead take the bus because it'll help with air pollution. No, most will just get in their car and go. But for me, it's all the misinformation, all the backlash, and the news outlets that are putting out the misinformation and not putting out the facts. CelebJet is not a reliable source when it comes to putting out the information. Like I said before, they aren't reporting where the celebrities are getting onto the planes, and they're making people think this is the celebrity taking a 10-minute flight to avoid traffic instead of taking a car ride that might be 15 minutes to an hour. This is why I do what I do. And I always need to check and check and check. And Pope knows I question everything. And he even helps me investigate all the questions that I have to find out the real facts. So I can put out the proof and show all of you the real information. Now, I do give my opinion on things, but when it comes down to it, I'm not like other YouTubers who will bullshit you for a story. If you want the real celebrity influencer news and commentary with timelines of events where you can see everything for yourself, then please hit that subscribe button, then hit the bell so you will get notified when I put out a new video or go live. Also remember to like this video and check out my description for all my great sponsors. And also, I do include where I find the proof. So I will link Drake's comment so you can see it for yourself, as well as the article from California Globe where they talk about the airports in Burbank, Hawthorne, Van Nuys, and how they have been receiving the brunt end of jet traffic from private planes looking to avoid expensive fees at LAX or other larger airports, which that article came back out in March. So it's not something that's new. This has been out since March. Now, I also love to go over different things happening with celebrities. One being like all the different lawsuits that different celebrities have. So you'll be definitely getting a lot of that information here on my channel, plus so much more. I also will have these videos on other platforms. So if you'd rather like to watch it on Odyssey or Rumble, you can also watch it on my locals account, which will be up and running after this weekend. But also on my locals account, I will be giving exclusive content for you guys there, where I will be telling it like it is. Any questions you have about anything, I mean, absolutely anything, things that I don't even discuss here, you can ask me there. Like I said, that will be up and running after this weekend. I have to tweak a couple things there before I make it known, but below you will find all my links to all of the different platforms that I have, as well as social medias. There will also be a link tree there where it's all the links in one place for you. I hope that people see this and more people are made aware of the facts. I hope that more people stop criticizing people like Kylie and Drake. Look how good he looks right there. Because they're not on these flights and they're only moving their plane from where they got dropped off to a hangar where it's stored. People are so concerned with what other people are doing, but they're not concerned at what they're doing to help the environment or the climate, things like that. People need to be aware before they go and make accusations that aren't true. And that's just my opinion, and that's how I feel. That's why I do what I do, and I check and I check and I check, and I question everything. Like when the first story came out about Kylie, I questioned every move, every comment that Pope said to me, and we both investigated that for a couple of days. We even went on to that little site where they track the airplanes and things like that. And I kept saying to myself, but why? Why would she not just get off in Van Nuys? Why would the plane go all the way to Camarillo for her to drive from Camarillo then to her house in Hidden Hills? It didn't make any sense. Until we did more and more investigation to find out that's where her hangar is, and she wasn't even on the plane. But when I say she received so much backlash, like 3 days it was trending on Twitter. That's just insanity. So I really do hope people see this. I hope that people get the facts. And if you want the facts, I will be bringing you the facts. If there's anything that you want me to cover or look into, you're always welcome to email me, DM me on any social media platform, and I will do all of that work to do it. I love doing things like this and going through things to find the real facts, because I feel like even with news outlets, with actual news stories, not just celebrities, people aren't getting the real information. They're not getting the whole truth. They're only getting a portion or what they want you to hear. And that's why it's sad when you have YouTubers like Faran who are getting demonetized for putting out the real news. Even MadcoreMoFo just got demonetized. So please check out Faran and MadcoreMoFo. Their links will be down below. Make sure to send them love, because they're going through a rough time because YouTube wants to shut their voice down. Why? Because they're being honest. They're providing real information. It's not something that YouTube wants out there, so they'll shut it down. And it's sad. It's pathetic. That's why I've also branched out to other platforms. I hope you guys do look into that, and I might even just do a video regarding how YouTube does this. It might not be on YouTube. It'll probably be on my other platforms, because then YouTube will do what they're going to do, and we don't want that to happen. I want to be here still on YouTube, as well as all those other platforms, to bring out the facts for you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. If you're not busy and you want to join the fun over here on Sunshinery, we will be doing, of course, game night. It's Friday, baby. So come have fun with us, enjoy laughs and funny drawings that we draw, and just have fun with us. And I will see you all again soon. Bye, everyone.